Hello, I'm Mike Corner. Welcome back to my perfect playthrough of Pokemon Red and Blue for the Game Boy. And having picked up the elixir that I forgot about last time Pokemon Red, I just want to update you guys with the new additions to our Pokedex I got last time. And I cleared out my inventory space in the PC at the Pokemon Center. So without further ado, let's make our way south towards Vermillion City. There's the hidden Fulsworth store down here, and a few steps further down, this tunnel should be another hidden item. And it's worth noting too that oh yeah, we were already told, okay, there's this place about the SS hand, so we have the SS tickets, so we have to go there now. Blue just got to a random encounter. I don't need to catch Bellsprout quite yet. So I'm gonna try to battle, and the only turns I'm going to focus on battling right now are the mandatory trainers. But what are we going to do about the SSN? All the trainers but one are missable there. And that place is a highly valuable source of experience points. We want to be able to save those for later. Well, Pokemon Blue. Well, we're going to take advantage of the Death Warp. You remember how last time I poisoned every Caterpie and Metapod I encountered in both games? Well, the poison status is about to come into full effect, in this very episode. So, Blue is just manipulating the RNG for speedy battles across the board. Red isn't super heavy on the RNG by comparison. Yeah, I'm very, very tired. This was like 2 hours worth of footage that I recorded right here. Tons of resets and everything. Manipulating the RNG and Blues so I get the one shot on Raticate. Same goes for Red. And Red isn't terribly far behind Blue in this regard. And there will come a time where Red will be able to at least catch up to Blue. And yes, we're gonna heal out the Pokemon Center. Typically speaking, we want to be able to Death Warp to Cerulean afterwards. But I have another idea. As, we want to take care of all of the trainers in Route 3 and Mount Moon that we left behind in the previous couple episodes. And for completion's sake, I'm also collecting the Old Rod. Unfortunately, it sucks because all you can do with it is catch level 5 Magikarp. So we're never going to use it. Let's talk to this creepy weirdo in Pokemon Blue, and Red is actually going to start with the Spearow for Farfetch'd trade. The order between these two doesn't matter so long as I remember to do them both. This is we get the bike voucher from this guy, which we will need in order to obtain a bicycle. And of course, the only way to catch Farfetch'd in either Red or Blue is via trade. You either trade with any of the other Gen 1 or 2 games like Yellow, Gold, Silver, Crystal, or you go the in-game route by trading a Spearow for Farfetch'd. And there you go. going the Farfetch'd route right here. And that is so creepy. Just how obsessive this guy is with his Rapidash. It sounds like he wants to peg the ponyta, as it were. Now, I don't need to visit the Pokemon quite yet, nor do we need to sell anything yet. Just need to board the SSN, and Blue is going to... And both Red and Blue are going to make their way to grab the hidden Great Ball straight away. The Great Ball is a little out of the way. There are no trainers in this room. So this is just a good way of making sure I don't forget about it. And Red and Blue are going to tackle Rival 4 in different manners. Blue is going to use Charmeleon or weaken the Pidgeotto, while Red is going to use Wartortle. Spoilers, the Charmeleon method is faster. Bonjour, John. Imagine seeing you here. John, were you really invited? So how's your Pokedex coming? I already caught 40 kinds, pal. Different kinds are everywhere. Crawl around in grassy areas. I actually did a rundown. It is possible to get at least 40 Pokemon registered in your Pokedex. Just playing glitchless and without trading with another player. What this implies is that your rival has been excessively evolving everything. So I used 2 Leers or Tail Whips to reduce Pidgeotto's defense. And I used Mega Punch, and I fainted before I could attack him again because of Quick Attack. But don't worry, those 2 Leers are more than enough to faint the Pidgeotto. I did this because Ivysaur struggles against Pidgeotto because Tackle sucks and Vine Whip's not as effective. I'm gonna dip the critical hit on Raticate. And I know I'm not gonna be able to one-shot this Kadabra even with the crit, but luckily Kadabra goes for Teleport. And now for the rival's Charmeleon, I understand fully that this is a 3 hit, so I manipulate critical hits to start off. I need to manipulate a normal hit, and then I manipulate another critical. I do this in both games. Fortunately, Ivysaur in Red gets a really high damage roll. At least they're raising your Pokemon. I heard there was a Cut Master on board, but he was just a seasick old man. But Cut itself is really useful. You should go see him. Smell ya! Yeah, I did the dialogue here because I know it'll be to allow Red to catch up to Blue. I knew going in that Red was going to be far behind, so I was just blitzing through the dialogue in Red. So, with Blue, I'm going to take my time a bit. Now, yes, I have to leave the SSN before talking to the Cut Master, because I need to fate my Pokemon somehow. But first, I need to buy 55 Pokeballs in both Red and Blue. It is essential to use up as much money as possible. And these 70 Pokeballs are pretty much going to be all the Pokeballs that we'll need in order to complete the Pokedex. I don't really need to heal at the Pokemon Center since I'll have to do this later anyways, but whatever. What I have to do is, in blue, I gotta swap out my entire party for a single level 9 Metapod, which should still be poisoned. In red, it's gonna be the level 8 Caterpie. Do the Metapod here. And remember I need to deposit ducks or Farfetch'd. Not the Metapod just got. Which one doesn't matter, because regardless of which one you bring along, you will have to use a potion eventually, in order to ensure enough health to make it to the Cut Master. The reason I'm doing this is because, as I said in my restrictions, you can only battle each trainer exactly one time. And this is to reduce the abuse of death warping, among other things. So already I know Red needs to potion up Caterpie so it can survive the trip to the Cut Masters. Ugh, I feel hideous. Ew. Well, I got the HM01 Cut, and what happens if you try to leave the SSN after getting it is that the ship will sail away. So, the Poison Sass is the only way to Death Warp without battling another trainer. So, what I'm gonna do now is gonna withdraw Weedle in Pokemon Blue and deposit Metapod, and then I'm gonna withdraw the rest of my pokes: Ivysaur, Charmeleon, Wartortle, Abra, and Mew. But Pokemon Red, I already have the Caterpie that I need to dupe, so I just hold on to that and withdraw everything else. I save outside just to prove, okay, I did the duplication trick worked. And I'm gonna deposit Weedle, Ivysaur, Charmeleon, and Wartortle, and then I'm gonna change boxes. 30 seconds there, I reset. After hitting the A button, I power off the console and reset. I do this in both games to ensure the duplication trick works. And as a reminder, this duplication trick is nearly impossible to pull off on actual hardware. This is something that's only feasible on emulator. So I deposited the second Weedle copy because I still need to make room for a dig user, either a high level Diglett or a Dugtrio. Of course I need to sell a Nugget before I buy the Repel, and the purpose of the Repel is to make it easier to catch Dugtrio. Or if I run to Dugtrio super early, reduce the number of random encounters. I believe Red's gonna skip through the Pokedex entries here, so I'll read the Pokedex entries in blue. Depending on how quickly you run into Dugtrio will ultimately depend on how fast, who will be able to complete this section the fastest. No, never mind. Blue, I skipped through blues because I had a hunch that the good luck that I had with, in Pokemon Red wasn't going to be on my side, so I repel here. And I plan on nipping the Dugtrio encounter. Two Diglett triplets. It triggers huge earthquakes by burrowing 60 miles underground. And I have to carefully tilt Blue back and forth without bumping, so I don't reduce my step count. This is something Red doesn't have to worry about because so long as I run into one Dugtrio early on, regardless of what level the Diglett capture is, I should be able to catch up just fine. And thank God there weren't any critical hits here. Lives about 1 yard underground where it feeds on plant roots. It sometimes appears above ground. And Blue had just also caught Dugtrio of its own, thanks to the repel. But before I use the repel in Red, I just need to teach Mew Cut. Mew's gonna be my HM slave going forward. And Blue is gonna head north to Pewter City to use the Pokemon Center, and the reason for this is to act as a warp point. Remember, I aim to battle all the trainers in Route 3 and Mount Moon that I left behind. That's invaluable experience for the other two starters. And Red's wasted a ton of time. Cut here to grab me an old amber from the back of the museum. This is literally the only reason to go here, is to pick this item up. And by the way, the old amber is a reference to Jurassic Park. So, Mew uses Cut. Now it's important that I have a Dig user because I'm going to be training away my Abra right now. And the trainer asks for an Abra in exchange. So why is Blue always ahead of Red? In every single episode thus far, Blue's beaten out Red in terms of speed. Well, the reason for this is simply better routing, better strategies, better focus on RNG. And honestly, the biggest difference is just random encounters. In Red, a lot of times, even when the strategies are largely the same in both games, Blue just has better encounter RNG than Red. And I have no idea why. And then add in the better strategies and the better RNG that I get from trainer battles. And of course you get this little mess. You have AIDS? Professor Oak has AIDS. way more than 10 Pokemon. Aid. Professor Oak's aid. I mean, didn't even make an HIV positive joke. And of course, I'm gonna nab the TM4 Dream Eater, which is physically the strongest psychic move in the game, but it requires the sleep status, which we're not gonna make any use of in this run. It could be useful in Pokemon Yellow, because in Yellow, you have to evolve Hit Drowsy to Hypno. Now I have to head up to Vermillion Forest so I can dig on out of here. And in Blue, I'm going to route some things by... Alright, screw that one up. I meant to teach Flash, not Cut. To Mew, of course. And then I have Diglett dig out here. And of course, I gave party control to my Charmeleon. Ivysaur's done for this episode. There are no more battles for him to fight, as Charmeleon and Wartortle are capable of taking on all challengers from here on. Hesitate in red. And then, of course, I remember to swap Charmeleon to the party lead. And because I'm so much stronger now, I required 0 RNG Minips, as Charmeleon just one-shots the second Bud Catcher. And thanks to some RNG Minips, I'm able to one-shot the second youngster's Spearow. And the third last is Jigglypuff. Blue and red with the first last is kind of mixed reception, but spoiler alert, blue RNG manips the crits on both Pidgey. And Charmeleon technically needs to experience a little more than Wartortle does. The next area, there's a shit ton of hikers. I'm not gonna battle all of them. I'm gonna leave the ones that have exploding Pokemon for a later date. Here I swap out Charmeleon for Wartortle. Now in hindsight, probably could have fought the first with Wartortle in the lead so I could cut down on switching, but I'm not speedrunning. Now I could have RNG manipped all the battles so that Squirtle and Charmeleon obeyed my every order. But the way I saw it, I wanted to treat the possibility of my Pokemon disobeying me as if it was something that could very reasonably happen on actual hardware. The only reason I duplicate my Pokemon in red and blue is literally to save time. I could have waited till Gold and Silver caught up and duped all the starters several times in the Gen 2 games, as PC duping is a lot safer in Gold, Silver, and Crystal, particularly Gold, Silver, than it is in Red, Blue, or Yellow. Charmeleon uses Mega Punch to one-shot Jigglypuff with the crit. Oh. And yes, it's technically a little fat, and because they're now stronger this time, it's actually faster to come back here and battle the trainers. Now that Charmeleon and Wartortle are strong enough to one-shot everything. And Blue's gonna capture the Zubat that we left behind last time, a couple episodes ago. Zubat, that Pokemon, I'm just gonna speed through it for Blue because there's a whole lot of Mount Moon to go. So technically Red's ahead, but because Blue caught the Zubat already, the differences are meager. However, Red at first starts off with amazing Mount Moon luck. So it'll take a bit of a while before Red gets into a random encounter. I manipulate critical hit Mega Punch with the high damage roll to ensure a one-shot. Now this is where Red catches the Zubat. And Zubat's way too frail to be damaged, so Charmeleon's gonna just YOLO a Pokeball at it. Forms colonies in perpetually dark places. Uses ultrasonic waves to identify and approach targets. And that's all the Mount Moon captures. We Team Rocket are Pokemon gangsters. Because of my glitches to skip all the way to the fossils in part 2, I have no choice but to manually speak to each of the rockets I passed up on previously. And Blue literally manips the critical hits against the Rattata and Zubat. John defeated the rocket. I blew it. You had it on, you blew it! And unfortunately I get hit with Supersonic in Red, but luckily don't hurt myself, so Red has fallen behind, but not substantially so. Oh, am I kidding? And unfortunately, it is not possible to defeat the Super Nerd in one shot. The Super Nerd's Magnemite in one shot. So I take the two-shot option. However, it is possible to one-shot the Voltorb afterwards. Which is what I did in Blue. And with the boost XP, Wartortle's now level 19. Yeah, yes. So I moved Charmeleon back to the front row so he can one-shot the next batch of trainers, which is actually a huge batch, I might add, because I want Charmeleon to hit level 22 and be strong enough to take on some of the trainers in Route 9. Charmeleon use Ember! And these are all easy one-shots for Charmeleon. Oh. I lost. And cutting through here would be a lot faster. Trying to reach the second last here. And this is where Blue gets hit with the random encounter bad luck. Just tons and tons of random battles. But despite this, Blue is very clearly winning this race. Oh. So, yep. Blue's Charmeleon took care of the second last with literally no effort. And even though I used the second rocket in order to manipulate the dialogue and nab the hidden items, you can still battle the second rocket. Yeah. However, you will have to still walk up to it and talk to it. Still faster than whatever else you could have done. I could have done. Now, Blue Eye focused extra hard on manipulating the RNG. Mega Punch, except I realized that Charmeleon can one-shot all of this rocket's pokes with just Mega Punch. So, lucky me. Didn't need to manipulate the RNG too much at all, just to ensure that the hits land. I already grabbed the hidden item here, so there's no point sticking around. And yes, even though Wartortle's lacking behind on the experience, I'm still gonna give it all to Charmeleon. Oh. And Charmeleon's Ember is sufficient enough to one-shot all of the youngsters' pokes. Alright, come on. And now Red's getting snake bit with the ring counter bug. But now, we're about to face the hiker, and so Wartortle's gonna get top billing here. Oh. There we are, the hiker. And which will be absolutely zero problem for Wartortle. But just water gun, and oh yeah, more water guns. This will get Wartortle level 20. And now Charmeleon's gonna take over for the rest of the episode. And we'll even continue on to the start of the next episode as well, so yeah. My main objective is to try to get to Cerulean City, battling as few trainers along the way as possible. So all that extra experience would be invaluable to a certain Pokemon I intend to capture in that area. Alright, Mega Punch. Charmeleon grew at level 22. Yeah, I think I only need to perform one single manip. That Eradicate is a 2-shot with a crit no matter what. And Blue is just getting beaten over the head by these random encounters. But it does give Red a shot to catch up. And these encounters are so freaking stupid. Red takes a Hyper Fang. So I can just use Ember to finish the job. So as long as Red's encounter RNG is not atrocious, I should be fine. Oh. Jesus freaking Christ, if I knew I would have ran into a Clefairy a second time going through Mount Moon, I would have just caught the one Clefairy and be done with it. Well, me not in Blue because I happened to run into the second Clefairy on the way out, but in Red, definitely. So, I'm gonna head on down into the bike shop. I did think that the main reason Blue's always ahead of Red is because I always play Red first. So I'm fumbling around, not really knowing what I'm doing in Red, so Blue just overtakes them. Just want to make sure that you knew Flash. However, even though I have the bike and could head Route 9 right now, I want to battle this final junior trainer on Nugget Bridge. The one I used for those 2 trainer flies the last couple episodes. Because there was no other way to obtain Mute in any of the Gen 1 games. Oh. And Blue one-shots the Rattata without any problem, but not so much the Echoes. Which could give Red a chance to catch up, but I'm not holding my breath. And I remember, oh yeah, I need to teach Mew Flash in Red. And then I heal at the Pokemon Center. Which is something that I don't think I do in Pokemon Red. So, Blue's gonna finish this episode about 10 seconds ahead of Pokemon Red. Amazing, I know, but after I read the 2 Pokedex entries in Pokemon Blue, I will say my closing comments, my usual. And next time we'll take on the Rock Tunnel and make our way to Cerulean City. But first, let's read the new Pokedex entries, Farfetch'd and Mr. Mime. There it is. The sprig of green onions it holds as its weapon. It is used much like a metal sword. I thought it was a leek. If interrupted while it is miming, it will slap around the offender with its broad hands. And with that, that's the episode heading straight for a close. So if you like this video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I greatly appreciate it. With all out of the way, this is Mike Gordon signing out.